in the last video installment, I may have got a few people's heckles up because it does challenge what they believe in. And it's not because I want to piss people off, it's definitely not what I want to do. I just want people to become more responsible and aware of what they're doing, because they owe it to themselves, and you feel better for it as well.
By pissing people off, do you mean telling them not to eat bread, or telling them that bread's bad, or milk's bad?
Well, there's a lot of people out there that, if I tell them that, look man, the Weet-Bix is causing nothing but problems for you, they've been on this forever and they can't see any problems. It's not until they reach 35, 40 that they really get into major issues, and it's kind of for them, like, to say that this is what's causing the problem, it's very hard to believe, because it's accumulative and it takes time, it's chronic. But that's where we want to draw the line, or where I need to draw the line with people, because they come in and they look terrible, and you got to just like say, look, just be honest with them, and that's what I do. And if you go to a professional and you're paying your money for it, you'd want them to be honest, because it's your money, your hard-earned money, and you deserve that. You deserve that honesty. And so like telling people to crap more, and the first time they've ever heard it in their lives, because their family doctor or whatever just didn't think it was important enough. It's a lot to take in, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that it can be hard, and I definitely and I can imagine I have in the past. I've got people retaliate aggressively because there's just too much, so that you get pissed off. Who is this prick telling me what to do or what I should do? And I don't want to be the one to tell you what to do. I just want you to be aware that there are better ways, and it's not right to not feel good. We're an animal like any other animal, and when you're happy, you're bouncing around and you're loving life, and that's what life's all about, to be lived.
What do we replace it with?
What do you replace what with?
The Weet-Bix, the bread. I've been living, not me personally, but I may have been living all my whole life eating bread. It's all I can remember.
Yeah, it's a good one, because somehow in this day and age where we have plastic containers or containers for absolutely everything, we still think the most convenient way to transport food is in a Glad wrapped sandwich.
But it is.
Yeah, well, it's not really. I mean, what's wrong with the frickin' container and a fork? I mean, people just use their fingers and ate raw meat, most likely. It's just because you end up needing to put a bit more effort into what you're eating doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing.
I get into a few Powerades and that, a few Gatorades. That's all good, eh?
Well, it's good now and then, but it's not a particularly natural hydration source.
Now and then, by once in the morning and once in the evening?
Well, like if you're heavy into a long endurance sport and you need those electrolytes and you need those sugars, like I've been exposed to a lot of people, but where that is all they'll drink. They won't drink water on its own. The one reason is because it's not sweet. There's so many sweet tooths out there, like Gatorade and Powerade and all of that sort of stuff. It's just not natural. It's just rubbish.
Mostly water though, isn't it?
Anything, and when water's flavoured, it's changed. It's very different. It has a different constitution, and the body will react differently to it because it's stimulated to. And the more sugar you put into the body, the more water it's going to need to do stuff with it, to stimulate. Plus all that sugar, all that sweetness and so on, it does create a more acidic environment, like within your system, where your system's fighting to be alkaline. It's fighting to be healthy, and that stuff doesn't make you healthy. I don't care what All Blacks throw in the ball, it doesn't.
Alright, so I can't eat me Weet-Bix, can't eat me Sammy's. You're probably not going to like me fish and chips. What am I going to eat today, Tim?
Yeah, well, as far as like what you feel you can't eat because you're taking my opinion on board, that's not what I'm telling you. I'm telling you to be, or I'm asking you to be more responsible, not for me, just for yourself. And the only news I want to give you is that these foods aren't good for you, not on a long-term basis, and certainly not every day. So maybe you just have to think outside the square. And follow your heart when it comes to choosing foods. I mean, if it feels wrong, if you feel like you're sinning when you're grabbing something to indulge on, and you are allowed to indulge on things, but if you feel that it is happening too much and so on, and everybody knows, don't give me that bullshit that you don't, then you need to question your choices.